grown a few different cucumber varieties over the years, and I feel like so many were misses versus hits. So let's dive into my thoughts on cucumber varieties that I've grown. We'll start with the interesting one, jelly melon, also known as Kiwano. This one was quite weird because it is technically a cucumber, but it also has some melon qualities to it, and it's just basically a cucumber with some goop or slime in it, and it tasted like banana to me. It wasn't bad, and it's definitely an interesting grow. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it, and it's not something I'd grow every year. Also, it's very spiky. You could really get hurt handling these. Next is Little Potato, and this one left a lot to be desired. It wasn't very prolific, and on one vine I only got one cucumber, and while it was very interesting looking, it just wasn't that special to me other than its looks. But I would be willing to try it again one of these years if I have space, because I only got to try one, so maybe the one I ate just wasn't very flavorful or wasn't harvested at the prime time. Next is Punakira, and it's supposed to be brown when it's fully ripe, but you can also harvest them when they are yellow, which is what I ended up doing because when I let them get brown, they were very bitter and started to wrinkle, but even picking them when they were yellow, they were a bit bitter, and I just didn't care for the flavor, so I probably wouldn't grow this one again. Lemon cucumber is a good one, and I don't have seeds for them because I bought the plant on a whim at a plant sale for $1, and I forgot to save seeds, or more like I didn't realize my last lemon cucumber was the last one for the year. But I did really like this one, and I am really contemplating ordering some seeds for it, but I need to finish plotting out my garden for this year before I make the decision to add it to the lineup. Next is Mexican sour gherkin, also known as cucamelon or also mouse melon. These are fun and cute, and they look like little watermelons, and they do have a lot of hype around them, and they were quite prolific. However, they were just okay to me flavor-wise. They were good, but didn't taste that unique. I wouldn't grow these every year, but it might be something that shows up in my lineup from time to time. This variety can also be overwintered, but I haven't tried it before, but if you live in a warm growing zone, you could likely cover it and leave it in place, but because they grow tubers, you can dig them up and replant them in the spring. Next, we have Girkinhocus, and I don't know what happened to mine, but they all came out weird like this, and they were just so bitter and awful tasting. And I know things like your soil and what you feed it can play a role in the taste of things, but I don't know about this one. I really wanted to pickle these little guys, but the plant also wasn't very prolific. I'll be passing on this one for the foreseeable future, but may revisit it again. The Ashley cucumber was okay. I was interested in it because it is supposedly more resistant to powdery mildew, but I never got to test that out because the plant wasn't very productive for me, and I only got a few cucumbers out of it. And after those few cucumbers, the plant stopped putting out flowers, so after a month of no progress, I removed it. But it was also just kind of average in flavor to me, and nothing really stood out. Chicago pickling is one I have grown twice now, and I liked it, and they do make great pickles, as the name would imply, and it was pretty prolific, so I will very likely be growing this one again if I have space. My dad has grown a few other varieties, and last year he tried diva cucumbers, and many were very bitter, and then he also tried growing a variety called Sweet Success, and they weren't very sweet or successful. There's always lots of factors as to why cucumbers can be bitter, and maybe he just had a bad cucumber year, but he has been growing them for as long as I can remember, and we've never had more bitter cucumbers than when he grew these two varieties last year. As for me, I've saved the best for last, and my two favorite varieties that I absolutely will grow again are the Monarchy cucumber and the Mini-Me cucumber. The Monarchy cucumber is extremely prolific for me, and I love the taste. They make great pickles, but are also good for fresh eating, and I just really enjoy it. And then for the Mini-Me cucumber, I got it because it was a seedling that was offered for my hydroponic tower, and for science, I had to see how growing cucumbers that way would work, so I selected it, and I feel it is really just a Persian cucumber, or is very similar to it, and they are smaller, smooth cucumbers, but they are really tasty and prolific, and I loved using these for cucumber sandwiches with cream cheese. And it did actually do really well in my hydroponic tower, and because the vine for this variety is smaller, it would be great for container gardeners or small space gardeners, and I am so glad that I saved the seeds for this one. So I will definitely be growing these two this year without a doubt, and as I mentioned, if I can find space for the lemon cucumber and the Chicago pickling cucumber, I will grow those as well. I don't know that I will be trying any new cucumber varieties this year just for space reasons, and also because nothing else has really stood out to me when browsing the seed catalogs, but I am always open to trying new varieties if anything sparks my interest.